This is the head and shoulders reversal pattern tutorial. The head and shoulders pattern is the most reliable of all of the reversal patterns. We have years worth of experience in trading this pattern, and what we've learned in that time we're going to be passing on to you guys in this tutorial. The head and shoulders pattern itself represents the points in an up market where sellers start to outweigh buyers and force the price of the shares down. Now, it's very important that you know how to recognize and use this pattern, because if you own shares in a company and you look at that company's chart and you spot a head and shoulders, you'll be able to work out what price to sell the shares at and what price to buy them back lower for a profit. Because this pattern is so reliable, it's the closest thing us traders have to predicting the future of our share price. Now, because we've got a lot of information to show you guys, we've decided to divide this tutorial into 3 segments. The first will be this video that you're watching now. You'll learn what the pattern looks like, how it works, and why it works the way it does. For those of you with our ebook, you will learn how to draw a midline. Now, a midline is probably the most important thing a trader can draw on this pattern. You can use it to know what price to sell the shares at and work out what price the shares will go down based on this pattern. We have a section dedicated to this on our eDVD where you will learn how to look at a head and shoulders pattern and you'll know what price it will send the shares down to. Right now, we need to see what this pattern looks like.
This is a head and shoulders formation. It occurs at the end of an uptrend, beginning of a downtrend, and it gives you a kind of rounded top. The pattern is complete with a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. The reason why this pattern acts as a reversal is, in general, in an uptrend, you'll get higher highs and higher lows. So each low will be higher than the previous low and each high will be higher than the previous high, until you get to the stage where you put in a highest high. So it's higher than all the previous, but the next peak is lower. So you've put in a lower high, which is the first warning signal you get for a head and shoulders pattern. The market, of course, could go higher, but you need to watch to see what happens. If the market starts making lower lows and lower highs, then you may have just seen the transitional period from a up market to a down market. That will be a valid head and shoulders pattern. You have a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder.
We need to consider the midline. The midline is probably the most important aspect of this pattern, because any good trader will use signals given by the midline to know when to sell the shares. The head and shoulders pattern is so called because it's a little bit like a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. With these patterns, they don't always appear like this. Sometimes they appear slanted this way, slanted that way. Sometimes the shoulder is a lot higher this side than that side. So drawing a midline can be very, very tricky, and this is why we've dedicated our entire section of our head and shoulders ebook to drawing the midline, because if you get the midline wrong, you won't be able to work out how low the price of the shares will go. You will get a false signal. So let's show you what a midline looks like.
So we've got another head and shoulders formation. You've got the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. We've put in a rough example of a midline. When you know how to use this midline, you'll be able to know when you get a sell signal on this pattern, and also use the midline in order to work out how low the price of the shares will go. So this midline is very important if you want to be able to trade this efficiently.
So at this stage, you'll be able to look at a stock market chart, identify a head and shoulders pattern, and know what effect that's likely to have on that company's share price. For those of you that have already downloaded our Reversal Patterns ebook, please do pay strict attention to the tasks that we set out for you in the head and shoulders version of the ebooks. We've given a lot of attention in making sure that once you've completed them tasks, you will know everything you need to know in order to draw your own midlines on head and shoulders that you spot on charts that you want to trade. For those of you that want to become serious traders, we do recommend you divert your attention to our eDVD, because it has got a section in there where we teach you how to draw the midlines and work out how low the head and shoulders pattern should send the price. Therefore, you know what price to buy the shares back once you've already got a sell signal. The next tutorial, giving you a heads up, will be inverted head and shoulders, which is the pattern that stopped the biggest stock market crash of our time.